Welcome back. Today we are going to build the front end, the part that the user actually sees. We will need two new libraries, Streamlit and Plotly. By the end of this lesson, you will have a working dashboard where you can search any Pokémon. You are going to see the radar chart and click any card in the local text gallery to load its stats automatically. Remember that the front end gets its own virtual environment. Each service stays isolated. In other words, we need to start a new terminal. We need to move from where we are. CD, backend, benv, scripts, deactivate. Guys, CD, mcat here, front end, recreated, CD, front end. As you can see, we are here in front end. It's totally empty. Yep, it's empty. CLS. We are going to create a virtual environment. Python -m bam bam. Okay, now that we are installing, we need to wait, and we are going to start benv scripts activated. With this, we can see that our virtual environment inside our frontend is totally empty. Now we need to install our libraries that we are going to use. The first one is Streamlit, Plotly, and request. These two new libraries here. The first one is Streamlit. You know, building a web frontend normally means learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript. 3 different languages just to show a button on the screen. Streamlit removes all of that. You write a Python script, run it, and Streamlit creates a working web page in your browser. It is specially designed for data apps like dashboard, analytics tools, machine learning demos. For what we're building, it is perfect. The second one is Plotly. This is our chart library for the final dashboard. Unlike Matplotlib, which creates static images, Plotly creates interactive charts. You can hover over them, zoom in, bang. They also end perfectly inside Streamlit. For Pokémon stats, we are going to use Plotly chart type called scatterpolar. That is the technical name for a radar chart. So let's gonna build. We're going to create there a new file. It's going to be dashboard.py. I don't know, it's going to give us an error, but we are going to start running this. Streamlit run dashboard. Streamlit run dashboard. Okay, as you can see, we have the local host in the port 8501. It's totally empty. Now we are going to the empty file and start importing the libraries. We need to write the page config and the layout. We do that with this line. st set page config on the page title is the Poké up. Press insert, yeah. Layout, in other hands, is going to be what? We need to add a markdown there. Fine, we are going to set the title. The title is the Poké app. As you can see, Poké app actually changed in this bar. Well, anyways, Streamlit mark down. Gonna have the search any Pokémon. Click one in the gallery below to load its stats. Yeah, there he is. It was not updating actually, but we are getting the title, the Poké app, and the markdown. Search any Pokemon. Okay, we're going to continue then. First, we need to create our API URL. This is going to have the operating system that we are going to get the environment and the API URL. If not, we are going to get HTTP localhost 8000. Fine. This is going to be the connection for our API. What does setPage function config do? This must be the very first Streamlit command in the file. The layout width uses the full screen width instead of a narrow default column. So with this, we have the entire website and the entire page. The small CSS there is just a smooth scrolling. When you click a Pokemon in the gallery, the idea is that the page scroll back to the top where the stats appear. Now, this is the most important, the API URL. This line reads the API URL from an environment variable. Locally, there is no variable set, so its default go to the local host. Inside Docker, we will pass the correct API URL with the port as an environment variable. Now the clever part, the search box and the gallery needs to be linked. When someone clicks a Pokemon card in the gallery, the search box at the top should automatically update and load the Pokemon. We are going to add this, the current Poké. Going to have the Streamlit query params. We need to get the Pokemon. Pokemon is not empty. Poké name is going to have the Streamlit text input. This is going to be the input. Search a Pokemon by name. We're going to get the value current Poké. We're going to strip the information and we are go. This is going to be in lower. Yeah, there is the bottom. The search bottom is working. No, it's not working. It's only appear because we only create the design, but not the logic. Query params. It is going to let us read and write the URL parameters of the page. You know how some URLs have a question mark, this symbol, and then some text operates them. For example, we are going to have in this part localhost 8501. Let's see. Pokemon is going to be Pikachu. Okay, this is going to be the idea of what we are going to, of how we are going to search the information. That Pokemon equal Pikachu is a query parameter. Here we read the Pokemon parameter from the URL. If it's there, we pre-fill the text input with that value. If not, the text input starts empty. Here we are going to read the Pokemon parameter from the URL. If it is there, we pre-fill the text input with that value. If not, the text is going to be empty. I will show you exactly how this connects to the gallery when we write the buttons. So for now, keep this in mind. We're going to start displaying this. Okay. We got the Pokemon, we got the Pikachu, we got the image. Cool, it's working. So, if we search for anything that is not a was, it need to disappear because it is not in the... Yeah, it's working. So, we are going to continue right now with the column 2. The column 2, as you can see, we're going to return to with Pikachu. We got the URL there. We got the name. This is the Poké ID that we are getting, 25, and this is the name that is working. Okay, there are the main moves, there are the information. Oh, every time every time where you are typing this, you need to check all the extensions that you are using. I don't know why. I usually forgot to complete the information. I was having troubles with this. I had bloodly chara. But well, anyways, with this, we already have our data and our main moves. Now, let's gonna see everything what does there. Let's gonna go to st columns there. In this part, we are going to divide the page into two horizontal sections. The first column takes 1/3 of the space, and the second is going to take 2/3. The image and the name on the left, and the stats and the chart on the right. With st.metrics, with metrics there, it's going to show a value in the library box. It's perfect for the stat numbers. That is what we are seeing there. Now, let's gonna be the scatter polar trace. This is the scatter polar trace. Well, everything there. For the radar chart that we have here, we need to pass the 6 stats values as air, the radial values, and the 6 labels as theta. Those are the axis labels. So look at this. We add at the end the value list, and we add the category list too. This closes the polygonal shape. Without it, the radar chart looks open like a Pac-Man shape. We want a proper closed polygon. Now we need to add the local text gallery. This part is a bit tiring, but anyways. Okay, let's go and check the information. There we are. We got, those are the Pokemon that we were searching before. Let's gonna add another one, Mewtwo. Mewtwo. And it's going to appear there at the end. Ah, new. It's Mewtwo. There is Mewtwo. It is there. If we press Charizard. Ah, this part isn't working. Well, anyways. It's not redirecting, but we can do that later. But at the moment, we almost complete information that we are looking for. Looking for the Pokemons, we are going to add there. Mew. As you can see, it's working. It's totally working. And adding in the data. Coco. We are not limiting this only for the first Pokemons there. You can find the entire database of Pokés. So, as you can see, this is the last generation, if I'm not wrong. Let's go and explain what we are doing here. Let me move this a bit. We are going to skip there. So, in this part, this is the part that is not working. Oh, man, why do I always do this wrong? Okay, my problem was there. I was looking for what I did wrong because the information was not charging when I click in the name. I was putting, I simply put the freaking, oh my gosh, freaking S, the freaking S, the extra S in the Pokemons. With this, we are creating the route there, and it is not going to look for the new Pokemon. So we're let's gonna delete everything I add because I don't need this anymore. As you can see, now it changes when we click in the local days. Oh my gosh, I really have a lot of mistakes when I type. I'm my own enemy. This is a liar error. Well, anyways, so the page reloads, the stats loads. That is the URL stat mechanic working, and this is everything for this lesson. So I'm going to see you in the Docker lesson. Bye bye.